Here's an instructive pawn endgame. It's white to play, but with the best play from black, it's a draw. Moves like a3 do nothing, since black can instantly start to trade pawns, and 1 versus 1 is no challenge at all. King moves either don't really do anything, since black just goes here and white gets nowhere. Pawn c3 is the only try. And then, let's see, first king a5 is a mistake from black. King comes to b3. Now black can do two things. He can sack the pawn here, but that's the worst case. White can win by taking or going here. This is an instructive way though, because here the natural looking a4 fails to king c6. If you go here, then b5, and you get this nice trick here where black wins this pawn and the other one is not gonna promote. And if white tries to be sneaky, black gets the distant opposition here. If you go here, black comes here, and now it's just nothing. And if white ever plays b5, then we can just go here and there is no breakthrough here. And you can't really run around either, because black gets to break here. Other win from white would have been a4 here, and then it transposes to very close to the best defense from black. But with one key difference is that here king a7, and when white goes to king b5, black wants to go king b7. But here the pawn is still on a2, so white has two moves here. And he needs two moves to break through. First move to get through here, either way. King c7, king a6, king c6. And the second move here to break this symmetry. Now black has to yield some way. Either he tries to block us here. Okay, here you drop the pawn. And if you go here, white gets to run around and win the pawn this way and then promote the other one. And yeah, obviously, here you're just gonna go to the same thing. So it's better to do it instantly. b4 here in the beginning. Now, again, this does nothing. It's the pawn, that's just a trade. But c4 is the good try. And now again, this is no good because the white gets to keep the pawn on a2. So black should give up the pawn. He's gonna lose the pawn, so he should give it up on his terms. If white takes, then king goes to b4 and then follows with b5 and trades one pair of pawns. And there is no way white's gonna break through here. It's an easy hold. And a3 is close to the previous line, but with the key difference that here, after white wins the pawn, king a6, king approaches, doesn't really matter which way we go here. But the point is that whenever this guy comes here, we go here, and now white has only one, then gets to break through this position. But the problem is that here it's a kind of a fortress/mirror position where either pawn break doesn't do anything. Black's just gonna take, and then eat the pawn here. And white tries to break through now. There is no breakthrough. Black gets to blockade. You go to the back rank, we go here. But we don't go greedy here, of course, because then white wins. Again with the same trick here. But yeah, in the beginning, it's important that we give up the pawn on our terms to get one tempo of white. And then it's not winnable. If we move all the pawns once to the side, there's few key differences. This no longer is a flank pawn, but on the other hand, black has also an extra row there to work with. So c3 is still the only realistic try. And then if c4, well, the takes don't do anything again. They're just pawn trades that lead to an easy draw. But the d4 is the try. And here, well, black doesn't need to do the c3 here. Can also get there with the king a4 because he has an extra flank here to wait here. And now again, these are just pawn trades. But if he wants to show some technique, he can actually draw again the pawn away. And here again, takes just goes here and trades a pair of pawns. And if white plays the c3, now the key difference is that here king b5 would be a big blunder, because here we get to the black gets here and white gets through here. And now from the previous example, this breakthrough here does not work. Or, well, it actually blunders. But here the key difference is that this is no longer a flank pawn. Like if these pawns were to the side here, that this c5, d5 break, or the previous example c5 break, didn't work because white was left with the flank pawn, and you can't really win with that. But here it's a knight's pawn, so white gets the opposition here and gets to break to the key squares and just win the game easily. So, but here black has the extra row here. You can go to king a5 again. And now white goes here, gets there, little zigzag. So this position is white to move and not black to move. Little triangulation here. Now the pawn moves to nothing. And then, yeah, there's no good solutions here. But even after here, the same thing works. White can take here, but then white black gets here, and now you lost your extra tempo here. You get to this position, but now this break doesn't work, since you don't have an opposition, or the king is not here. Here it just goes here, and then there's no breaking through the key squares now. But if you move the white king here, and black king here, from the previous example, here white wins in any case, for instance d3. Now for instance any waiting move here don't work, since white has an extra move here. And now you lose the pawn always with the 2 pawn moves as a 10 piece here. Oh, you can transpose to this pawn endgame wins easily. But you could also break through here if you want to, because you have the extra b4, and now this always wins. And yeah, doesn't do either anything. White gets to break through the back rank here. And again promote. So here there's just no sacrifices here. White can win by taking here or pushing d4. Again, don't do the b4 here is another instructive mistake though, because king d6. Now you have no, well, if you go here again, the standard trick here, chop chop, and then you win the pawn back. And if white tries to be smarter, then black takes the distant opposition here, and now there's no way to break through. Keeping the either distant opposition, or here we get to the closed one. And now this doesn't do anything, since this keeps the pawn here. And the breakthrough is not far enough, because black's close enough to catch the pawn. And if you go here, black just comes back, and now there's no trying to outflank the black king, since he shimmies back in. And oh, here you just have to be careful you don't lose that, but white has a lot of margin to draw to still. Here it gets the opposition with the pawn still on the black side of the board, so it's an easy draw. Here instead of b4, white just plays b3 instead, gives a 1 pawn move in reserve here. And after king goes to d6, we don't go here and let the same thing happen again. But instead king b4, and then you're on the other side and get to outflank the black. If they try, for instance, king d7 and king c7, white has an extra move here to break through. And now wherever the king goes, we have, well, we could play c5, for instance, here and just win this way. Or maybe play here and then play c5 and win with the 2 extra pawns. Anyways, it's much easier this way. And if black goes to the other side, then we can break on the other side again. But again, this fails to c5, and suddenly there's no breakthroughs anywhere. They're there. No pawn moves anymore. There the black gets to. Oh, here don't need to take the distant opposition, but maybe it's a good habit to do so. Anyways, hopefully that was instructive. Lots of complexity in very simple pawn endgames. Until next time, bye bye.